boys, it's Canadian Bacon. We're back at it again with a new video. Different type of video we got going on today. I was thinking that to switch it up, we would do a ranking video. So I'm going to separate it by each type. We're going to have controllers, we're going to have duelist, we're going to have initiators, and we're going to have sentinels, and we're going to rank them from S tier all the way down to D tier. S tier being the best, D tier being the worst. You guys kind of know how this already goes, but with that being said, we're going to kick it off here. I have all of them down here, but for this episode, this is going to be strictly duelist. This will be the first one that will be done, and then after that, all the other following three other controllers, initiators, and sentinels will be put in after. For the first agent, we are going to start with, I believe, only one that I think should be in S tier currently, Jett. Jett is kind of just the go-to duelist. It's no matter what the map is, no matter what kind of situation you are in, Jett's ult is good. The movement, you can't really, there's nothing you could really do. I mean, they could patch the movement and make it a little slower and stuff like that, but other than that, she's not so much reliant on flashes and other type of util that, can't really necessarily guarantee that it's going to do what it's going to do every single time. Because you can flash and your flash might not hit them, but if you're dashing, your dash is going to hit. You know that if you peek a corner and then you dash back and after you get the frag, like that's going to be there. Like that's guaranteed to happen. I mean, someone might get your trade, but other than that, I think Jett, overall, she can space the map and take up more space than some of these other duelists that we'll get into a little bit down the road. All of those reasons, I'm going to have to put Jett in S tier. I just believe that she is overall the best duelist. There's some maps where I could see others being better, and by others I mean like there's like one, and then we got some other things to talk about as well. But for the second duelist that we're going to have, I was balancing back and forth. Do I put him in S tier or do I put him in A tier? But considering where all the others are at, I'm going to put Raze in A tier. This is due to her movement mechanics. This is due to them bringing back split and competitive. I believe overall her ability to satchel along with her grenade and her boombot, even though it got nerfed, I believe that for majority of the maps that we're playing right now, besides I wouldn't lock in Raze if we were playing Lotus, or mostly Lotus to be honest. Jett though, any map you want, you could run Jett. But Split, good map for Raze, probably her best map out of all of them. And Grenade is good. You can throw around corners. It's good to post plant. If you can line it up, you can do it. But also, her grenade takes up space. People will not push if you throw the grenade in there. And for that reason, I'm going to have to put Raze in A tier. After thinking for a while, I decided that there are no other agents that are duelists that I believe should be in A tier. And the only one that the next one that I could possibly argue about being A tier, but there's just particular reasons why I can't. I believe Yoru is on the cusp. Hear me out here. You're like, Yoru? Wait a second, Yoru. No, listen. This character has the highest ceiling out of all of the duelist, I believe. If you can find someone who is cracked on Yoru, most of the time they're high rank. I don't understand. It's just how it works. Just to be able to understand how to use all of his util in combination to just get frags and stuff like that. A good Yoru change a game right there. Just through the mind games that he can play. It's kind of like an Omen, but duelist hybrid. It's where he can control the map along with enter. He's got flashes, his teleport, and his clone. His ult is great, amazing. You can get intel through it. I believe that in these next coming acts and introductions of new maps and stuff, I think Yoru is going to start to get more light and to get more play in competitive along with pro play as well. I believe that I know people start running him on Pearl because Pearl's a really good map for Yoru, especially B, because we all know that site needs to get nerfed because it's way too. They just need to rework that whole side of the map. But the next agent we're going to have on our list, deserves to be in B tier along with Yoru is Phoenix. Phoenix is a good agent. His flashes work well as entry. also self-reliant. He can provide himself with his own heals, which is also a huge benefit when you're a duelist, so you can start taking pick shots and stuff like that and take a little damage and not be worried about having, to get heals from Sage or from Sky. You don't have to really necessarily worry about that. Also, if you know how to line up Phoenix's Molly, it can provide, better. You can line up, and even on what map is it? Ascent, that little cubby on off of A main. You can throw your Molly over the wall, to hold back a little bit. Also, Phoenix is kind of an easy kit to use, and for that, I feel like he is kind of a mid-tier duelist. And not just no one to get angry if their main is low round rank. This is just my personal opinion. This is what I think after playing Valorant for a while and just kind of gathering my sense of each character and who I think is good and who is not as good as the others. Because I don't think there's necessarily a bad agent. I mean, there's one agent who is like the worst of all the agents, and we'll see that when we get to there. But for majority of it, if you pick agent, you get comfortable with an agent. There's some maps that are better for particular agents than others, where like you don't really need to play that agent. But if it's your only agent, then just play what you're comfortable with, because that's really all that matters when you first start playing and stuff like that. But for our next duelist, that's going to be in the C tier. Or I couldn't decide, but I felt like I needed to put someone in the C tier. But I'm gonna put Neon in the C tier, and I know that the movement discussion was a lot in earlier when I was talking about Jet and stuff like that, but Neon's movement is a little different. You can't really. It's not like her movement gets her out of the way, I guess, as much. It's kind of just allows her to create shots for herself, if that makes sense. I mean, you can get out of the way a little bit, but her util, her wall is okay on some maps. Her stuns, they're kind of just, I mean, if you can hit them, you can hit them, but like they're just, the bounces and stuff like that just don't really work as well as you would, like them to. Her ult is, it's kind of mid. I mean, you could still kill her very easily. You could hear her from a mile away when she walks, so it's not that hard to just sit around a corner and wait for her to walk around. You just one tap her with the Vandal. It's not too hard. And for all of those reasons, that's why I'm going to have to put her in C tier. Nothing too crazy, I guess. I mean, I believe her best map is Lotus, or not Pearl. I don't know. Lotus, I think is more of a Neon map. I don't really see Neon being played on any other maps, but then again, there are some players who are that are pro that can play Neon on Fracture and stuff like that. Fracture is an okay map for her as well. I just I personally don't think that if the character has one or two good maps, I don't necessarily think they should be on the upper half, or even in the middle of the tier list for that particular pool of agents. But for the last D tier agent, as you can figure out, is Reyna, and Reyna is starting to get better, I believe. But when your character is strictly based upon if you get kills or not, it can cause a lot of turmoil within a team. So if you're let's say you finish a game with Reyna and you only have 11 kills with Reyna, all right, you're a duelist whose abilities are solely dependent upon if you get kills or not. You can't heal, you can't get away, your ult's basically useless. I just don't really necessarily see Reyna as being, I mean, her blind is good for entry. That is a plus. I just don't think currently there is, she doesn't offer enough. She's kind of a one-dimensional duelist, pretty much. I mean, as you can, some of the other ones, like Jet, for example. You're like, well, Jet's abilities don't really do much either. Well, she's got smokes. That's more than what Reyna has. Her blinds are okay. That's it. But I mean, Jet's dash can get her out of the way more, and her ult is also way better than Reyna's. Raze, for example, her boom bot that gets you intel. Grenade creates more space. Her satchels allow her to move, and her ult is one of the best duel assaults. Phoenix, for that matter of fact, he can heal himself. Reyna can heal herself as well. But his wall, he can wall off. He's got a molly. He can play post plant. Yoru has I think one of the most wide universal toolkits. His clone that's going to provide util, can provide entry. His flashes can provide entry. His teleports can create space. You can also gather intel. You could rotate way faster across sites. His all is also a huge intel. You can just walk around in there and just ping all the enemies for your teammates. And and Neon, her all is okay. But her wall is good, and her movement is one of the reasons why I kind of give her the leg up over Reyna. And her stuns are okay. It's nothing too crazy, but to be fair, when I play Reyna and I use her blind, I don't think it does as much as other characters' blinds. For example, like Phoenix, I think his blind is probably a little better. It's easier for your team to move off a Reyna blind. But with that being said, I'm putting Reyna in D tier. And this is a list of the Duelist. We didn't miss anyone. For the time being, this is how I kind of view the tiers. Some are probably going to move up and down. We'll make an update at the end of this act. Maybe my opinions about who is where will change. And we'll cut back to this. Hopefully, if that's a video you guys are looking forward to later on. But with all that being said, thank you to all the new subscribers, support, likes, comments. I try to make content and stuff that people enjoy. And sometimes videos do good, and sometimes they don't do as well. But for people who just tune in, and even if you're not liking or subscribing and stuff, it really means a lot that you're watching my video right now. But other than that, it's been your boy Canadian Bacon. Peace out. I will catch you in the next one. Stay tuned for more upcoming tier lists, commentaries, and updates. Call of Duty, Warzone, Valorant, for example. You know what we do. But peace out. I'll see you boys in the next one.